Welcome back to the Masters of Recon podcast, your top automotive refinishing podcast with your hosts, Corey Kleinfeld
and Ryan Brewer. Enjoy the show, everyone.
Welcome back to the Masters of Recon podcast. Today on the podcast, we have a repeat guest, Ryan Kaye, who is in the management side of RestorFX. And we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff today. Now, I'm going to give you a list of it. You ready? We're going to talk about RestorFX's new and improved marketing program integrated with their CRM system. We're going to talk about their new line of direct-to-consumer products that they just came out with. They have a Maintain Pro line, which is for the internal RestorFX guys, and the Maintain DIY, which is something you can sell to the customers after you do RestorFX. We're going to talk about the used car market and how to integrate RestorFX and ceramic coating more, integrate that more into the dealership space. So we got a lot to talk about, Ryan. We'll see if we can get it in an hour because we all like to talk. So
yeah,
welcome to the show.
Yep.
Welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show, let's say.
Yes.
Thanks.
Last I looked, Ryan, I was looking the other day, and I think the last podcast we did, maybe it was the last one or the one before, where it was how to sell to managers from a former manager. Maybe that was the one before last. Most downloaded podcast ever for us.
Nice.
So
I am the greatest.
We should get you a plaque.
Are the guy. Yeah, plaque.
Yeah. I expect it for MTE next year.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we'll get it out, give it out at the awards show when we get the other plaque. So
yeah,
either that or at least a sandwich. Like I'm fine with that.
A sandwich. There you go. Oh man, where to start then? I'll start with my basically right now inside of my company starting on Monday, we are going to be doing way more for a dealership. So instead of just taking a car off the front lot and doing RestorFX on it and bringing it back, basically the manager came to me and said, like you guys are doing, it's great, yada, yada. Can you guys start detailing cars for me? Because I have a bottleneck in detail. And I was like, absolutely not. I will not do that. I was like, I don't want to detail. I don't want to vacuum cars. We don't want to do that. But my neighbor does that. So what we're going to start doing is he's going to, before the cars hit the front lot, right outside the mechanic shop, bring it down to our space, which is about 10 minutes from his dealership. He's delivering them too now, which was great. Because we were doing pickup drop off. He's delivering them. We're going to do interior. We're going to have interior, exterior engine done. Then we'll do RestorFX, touch up, and dent repair and send them back. And then they'll go on the front line. So,
one-stop shop recon.
And I need to do this more. And I know, Ryan, you've done something like this, and we know other guys who are doing stuff like this as well. So, kind of a whole new world to think about. Like, instead of just going to get a few cars a week from a dealership, how can we help them with just their overall detailing capabilities, you know?
Yeah. Well, we've always talked about the problems, like being the problem solver for the dealership.
Yeah.
And this is one of those things that I think we haven't really had the angle to sell to the dealership. It's nice that the dealership came to you and said, hey, this is the problem. We want you to take care of it. And obviously he didn't get the answer he was looking for at the time, but obviously you worked it out. But
no, it was all the same. I said, absolutely not, but I have an option for you.
Right. So if he got the answer he wanted at the end, but I think at the end of it, this is definitely a different route that we can take to make the RestorFX centers more profitable. I think the more we get into it, we should probably keep up with something like that.
Well, and honestly, like one of the biggest complaints that we have is that when their detailers touch it, like basically the detailers are putting just silicone on everything. Like that's half of it. They do a quick rinse, they vacuum the inside ish, and then they put silicone on stuff, which makes our job harder. We got to take all that stuff off the trim, the tape's not sticking, and so now that we have control of detailing, it's going to be even easier for us now.
Well, I'll say one thing that's going to like shine, and I guess I'm jumping ahead of the game, but one of the new products with the tire shine that's supposed to last like up to what, six months. Am I right, Ryan?
3 months or 3,000 miles.
Yeah. So even the car is not driving 3,000 miles. It shouldn't be sitting on the parking lot for 3 months. It's like I have dealerships that have called us and said, hey, we like your tire shine, like the old system. Can you just send a guy over here to do tire shine on all of our stuff? I'm like, well, now I get to go to the dealership and sell them. Like, one, we're not going to have stuff flying all over the car. And this stuff's going to last the entire time it's on the lot until it's sold. And then the customer is going to get something after the fact. And I'm starting to think about, like, can we sell this to the dealership? Like, can the dealership buy from us, sell to the consumer in the service department, It's like it's starting to open up a bunch of doors, right?
Oh yeah, big time.
Interesting.
But you guys are doing it right, because I always say the one thing you don't want to do is become a jack of all trade, master of none. You know, there's so
Right.
many shops out there that I do PPF, I do tint, I do detailing, I do scratch repair, I do ceramic, I do touch up, I try to do PDR, I try to do, exhaust modifications, I try to do headlight conversions.
Yeah, lift kits.
Don't get out of that. Stick to what you're good at, right?
Hmm.
I'm not saying don't sell these people products, but do exactly what you're doing, Corey. Partner with somebody that you know works well, somebody you can trust, somebody that's going to give the quality of work you expect, and bring them in. Especially if it's a high ticket item. Like I get a lot of inquiries for PPF, and the investment to get into a PPF, plus the training, plus the printer, plus the film rolls, plus this, plus no, thank
Plus
you.
the space, having the space,
Yeah. Well, the
having the
space I
space.
got, it's everything else. Now I got to hire another person that's probably going to last 3 months, and then train another person that'll last 6 months, and then train. So instead, I just have somebody that owns the franchise of a very well-known brand that I'm not going to talk about, and he happens to be family, but he's got a mobile service. So I just sublet everything through him. He gives me a wholesale rate. He comes in, I'm getting the top-notch product done by a certified installer with full guarantees, and the customer's
Mm.
getting one-stop shop. They don't
Yep.
know, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I always tell
Yep.
them, same with PDR. They're like, do you do dent repair? No, I don't, because you don't want me to. But I have a professional that's really
Right.
good that
Yeah.
comes in and does them here for you.
Right. And
So,
I mean, in the end, like I've been doing this long enough. We've all had ideas, Ryan. We've talked about stuff. Being an all-in-one for a dealership, like there's a lot of guys that sell that product. They have all-in-one, but this is not all-in-one, but it is all-in-one on the detailing side, which I think is a
Right.
pretty unique thing. And we're able to offer additional like touch up and dent repair just because we have other professionals that do that. But
mhm,
yeah, it gets me thinking, how I could do this for more dealers. And it's not every dealership, but there are certain dealers that
Right.
want this. And then the biggest thing for him is like, he's like, I don't care, I don't care who's touching the thing. I just want it down there for 3 days and I want it to come back finished. Like,
mhm.
and I'm his
One
point of
invoice.
contact and he's paying one dude. And if there's a problem, he calls one guy and it's just easy. And we got to start thinking about it more that way.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do have to be careful, though, right? Because if all of a sudden the general manager or the principal starts looking and says, hey, why are these huge amounts of money going down to Corey?
Yeah.
And I want detailing going back to my shop because I'm paying teams to do that. If you've spent the money to invest in doing all that, now you're at a potential chance of risk of loss. Whereas if
Yeah,
it's
for
just
sure.
the guy
Yeah.
next door, you're like, hey, bad news, details in house. I gotta, gotta be
Yeah.
over here still doing the cars. See you later.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
So
very
it gives
possible.
you that flexibility and freedom to pivot fast without having any risk. So
I dig it.
that
Yeah.
I
that
dig it.
that's huge advice I give to people. Don't get into something just because your client's asking. Find somebody that's good at it that you trust and sublet it through them.
Yeah, and then maybe down the road, if it's consistent and long term, I hire a detailer. That's
Yeah.
possible. But
Yeah.
I'm all about contractor first. That's the whole point of it. That's the why it
Or you just
exists.
you acquire the company that you're contracting
Yeah,
to
or
at some
that.
point,
Yeah.
right?
Sorry,
Yeah.
Ryan. Not everybody buys every other company, Ryan. Sorry,
No.
man.
Yeah. No, we're not playing Monopoly the home version like you.
I'll just acquire them. It's fine. I'll just start a massive area with 10 warehouses and hire every service in
Yeah.
it.
Sorry.
So badass. I love it, dude.
Ryan,
Don't apologize.
I,
Don't apologize. I
I
love it.
I do have a question. I guess we haven't talked about this before, but I feel like RestorFX has been growing at a pretty rapid pace in the past few years. I remember when we first got on with RestorFX, it was kind of the thing we were telling everybody was we have over 150 locations in 45 different countries. Like, where are we at now? Do you have a number?
Yeah, so North America, we're still around the same amount. And the reason is for every 4 or 5 guys that sign up, there's a couple that unfortunately fall off. And the biggest reason for fall off is not due to, I would say, product issues or anything. It's people that are too focused on trying to do everything all in one. All right.
All at once. Yeah.
And I think we've talked about that before. Like Corey, really that understanding of having to have somebody that's doing the restore effects so that you can focus on your dent business. Whereas if you're trying to do both, it's just not going to happen. You're never going to really grow. So, unfortunately, some people do sort of teeter off and some people do come back on. But we are at about 115 locations. But I would say, with a rough guess right now, because I have not counted in a bit, we're probably just over 50 countries worldwide.
Well,
That's cool.
So I know we're opening up in, I believe, Egypt very, very soon. I know we're starting to look at Italy is looking at a few locations. We did mention Turkmenistan just signed up. Obviously, the guys in Kazakhstan are doing a great job marketing, and we're getting all kinds of interesting inquiries from a lot of expats from that area. We just sold one of the largest portions of downtown Toronto, Etobicoke, to a Ukrainian guy that's going to do just gangbusters. And, there's a lot of different areas. We got expansion going on in Japan. So we're growing at a very fast rate globally. But I do think that obviously everything that's going on is affecting our North American growth right now. And I'm going to throw a disclaimer out there. There's no political agenda here. There's no policies. Who you support is your business. But what is happening right now is the market confidence index is the lowest it's ever been since the Great Depression. So if you were selling cereal, you'd have a hard time right now, let alone trying to sell a whole business model with a massive investment. A lot of people are just waiting for everything to calm down and level out before they make that kind of investment. So, we were getting a lot of traction just as the elections wrapped up. Everyone was excited and everyone was like really interested. And then when just sort of January, February, March, everything just slowed right down. And I'm sure a lot of people are feeling this with their clients. They're going out to their regular dealers that they work with. They notice the inventory is half of what it used to be. The guys are terrified to spend a dollar. Everyone's just sort of holding back because they don't know. There's a saying in sales that confused people do nothing. And right now, everybody is confused about what to do. So they're doing nothing.
Fair point. Yeah, it's tariffs. And I've talked to a few dealer managers and stuff about tariffs and how it'll affect it. And they're like, oh, we'll see. I don't even know. They're on, they're off. Others are off. Car manufacturers are staying on, but depends on how much your car is made in or out of the country. It's a complicated thing.
It's weird because we're seeing like an influx of car sales because people are scared cars are going to go from the price that they're going now through the roof. So like I just had a good friend of mine buy a car the other day, 2 days ago. And he was like, dude, I don't understand why the 24 model was cheaper than the 23 model. And I'm trying to explain to him the whole back end of like how dealerships work and rebates and all the stuff that they get from the manufacturer. But at the end of the day, talking to the manager, he's like, we don't know what's going to happen with car prices in the next year. So like people are in here buying cars. It's weird.
Yeah. I've heard that too.
Yeah. 25%. Like, you have to accept that no car is solely made in one place anymore. I don't care. Right. It's just not possible, right? You guys, US doesn't have what they need to build a car completely. Canada doesn't have what they have. Japan can't do it. That's why they have these factories in different places. It's just not possible. So the instability is what's causing the scare. New cars are flourishing because people are trying to get ahead of that. If you knew there was going to be a 25% price increase potentially in 30 days, would you not buy something now?
Right. If you were going to buy it in the next few months, let's kick it ahead, for sure.
Yeah, get it now. Whereas on the reverse side, if you've got like a 4-year-old car and you're just sort of going, maybe I'll get something new, chances are you're going to hold out until everything settles down and not do anything. You're going to keep your money in your pocket, you're going to keep it safe, and you're going to do that. And that proves to be a lot of problems for us, right? The good news is there's a lot more trade-ins again. The bad news is managers are terrified because they don't know what's going to happen, right? One of our biggest clients, actually, he's an exporter of vehicles. He comes here and buys these long-term rentals that have been beat up by construction and forest companies here in Canada, cleans them up real nice and ships them down to the US. He's basically stopped because every car that's at the border officials are like, is there a tariff on this? And nobody knows.
Shit.
So they don't know if they got to charge 25%. It doesn't apply to used cars. Nobody's told them. They don't have a clue. So all these guys,
you can't pick up the phone and call somebody and ask.
No. It's because you are dealing with the person you'd be calling, right? And they're going, right. So they end up just getting stuck there for indefinite. And that's both ways. So like we have a friend that was trying to bring a car up from the States into Canada, and same thing. The car got held up and it was just there for weeks because they couldn't figure out whether it was charged or not.
Interesting.
So it is creating challenges, right? And as independent business owners and people that are dependent, and we've built this really flourishing wholesale business that was great. It was like kind of like the Illuminati. We only worked for dealerships. We made tons of money. And nobody knew about us, and we didn't have to deal with retail. It was fantastic. It was the best job ever. right? The customers can be wrong. Nobody calls us in the middle of the night to complain, and we don't have to answer stupid questions. It's perfect. But now we have to make that shift, right? Now is the time. If the dealerships are going to be slow, if the dealerships are going to be unstable, if the dealerships like that, and if people aren't trading in their cars and the used car markets are struggling, then what we have to do is make that shift to a retail market base. We have to start appealing to people driving down the road, the guy two doors down, the guy that does have that 4-year-old truck going, geez, I don't know if now's the right time to spend 80K on a new F-150, or do I spend $1,000 and just make my truck look new again? Because really, the number one reason why you buy a new vehicle isn't because the current vehicle is a piece of crap, but you buy it because it's starting to look old. And you want that new car feel again.
Yeah.
Mechanically, they're sound.
Yeah, a lot of times, yeah. I mean, yeah, a lot of times. And I've seen people sell cars, that looked old that had 50,000 miles on them, which I mean is that's just silly at that point. It's brand new. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. We've seen a lot of that. We've done way more retail in the last several weeks or month than we have before. And I think it is people keeping cars. And just I mean, just the taxes alone are more than I could charge them for I've charged several people for RestorFX, PDR on certain spots, trim restoration, etc. And it's still cheaper than just the tax on a car, you know.
Yep.
And they still don't have a payment. That's killer.
Exactly.
Ryan, you mentioned, and I'm thinking too, is like if the dealerships are going to have way less turnover, right? Way less cars coming in and going out, then doing more on each one of those cars is a big upsell. With me doing detailing now and doing all that stuff, I think if we can just get more value out of each vehicle, that's important.
I think that you could see. This is a good question that I'll ask someone like in our dealership group that we have. Dealership managers really the owners, the ones that are up there bean counting and looking at the bottom line. When they start seeing,
we love you, by the way, in case you listen to this podcast.
Yeah, sure.
You're the best. Yeah, those beans are cool.
No problems. It's just cool. The reality is they start trying to save money in other places to be more profitable. So like they start cutting things, right? They either start not to say cutting employees, but they'll start cutting services that they're spending money on these
recon,
cars.
Potentially
recon is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So that's definitely I'm thinking about it now, and I'll have that question answered as soon as we get up this podcast. I'll be texting someone just to find out
about what.
Like the future of like where the used car market's going, if it starts to slow down dramatically, right? Where it's just coming to a screeching halt, like what starts getting kicked first? Like how do you guys keep moving? Because the managers are always pressured by the owners to like sell more cars.
Move cars.
If you can't move cars, then you have to be profitable somewhere else. So is that cutting costs in the cars you have in the recon industry, or is that up in the prices? I have no idea, right? So I think that's something
typically the first cut is to external payments that you can handle in-house, i.e. detailing, blow-ins, that sort of idea. Those are the main big cutters where they go, I can do these services, or we can take on this service. So I'm going to cut out paying other people to take profit out of my car for me.
And that's okay, because what the pivot is to that is to get more in tune with the actual salesman. We've had some people on the podcast talking about RestorFX and how they sell. But even if you sell a car, like I'm a salesman, I'm selling this Nissan Altima to a customer, it's beat to shit. The manager will not let us put money into it. The fact is the salesman has that relationship with the customer. They can sell it to them for a great price or make them feel like they're buying it for a great price, and then say, look, I know that they have some issues with the car, but if you bring it over to RestorFX, they can get it taken care of for you. So that at that point, the dealership might not be paying the bill, the customer will. In return, we're making more money because we get to charge more, right? So it's just pivoting through that, trying to figure out how do we keep the shop busy. And that could be a result.
Well, and I always use with these managers, I'm like, listen, if the market's bad, look at it in real estate, okay? There was a few years ago, especially towards the end of COVID there, where if you had a house that basically was tear down, it was selling for over asking within a week. And nowadays, unless the house is fully finished and turnkey, it's going to sit on the market.
Right.
The cars are the same things. These guys have to understand that. It's the same thing. Middle class people with credit don't buy crappy cars because they don't have to. They have the ability to buy whatever car they want. They're not looking for best price anymore. Everyone's focused on this best price, best price, best price, best price because they've been programmed. Nobody's actually looking for that. What people are looking for is the best value.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things that through PDR and PCR, we provide to them. We give them high value return for nominal investment. So by simply running a car through, one of your guys' shop and getting the dents pulled and the car shiny, you throw it front line. It's like you said, Corey, you see cars that look 10 years old with 50,000 miles on them. Well, now you can have cars with 80,000 miles on them that look like they have 5. Middle class people with credit that are going to get approved on financing are going to do that. And if you're not making money on the sales side, the managers have to start pivoting to think, well, I got to sell the service, which is how it used to be in the 90s. You sell the car, you don't make a dollar on it, but you sell it so that you get that long-term service customer.
Yeah.
If you're selling to the common lowest denominator, they're getting oil changes at, Jiffy Lube or Walmart or something. They're not going back to the dealer and paying premium rates. You get a middle class person with credit. They finance that car out at $400 or $500 a month. They're going to the dealer to service it because they're going to pay the extra knowing the car is being taken care of. So that's what you need to appeal to, is the people looking for that turnkey, ready to close home, that there's no work to be done. They're the same with cars.
Yeah, the value is a relative thing. So if you can make somebody feel like they got a good deal on a car, like everybody wants that car that's like the low miles, that's in super good condition, that just like grandpa parked in his garage but never just drove it to the store. They're like, oh, I got the super clean car. It was like 10 years old, like 20,000 miles. It looks brand new. It's like that. And they always, no matter what deal you got on it, you always feel like you got a deal. So making a car look brand new, even though it's 5 or 6 years old, and it might have a high mileage, but you'd be like, this was so well taken care of. They just don't know it was very well restored, which is,
and they never talk about the price. So like you ask them like, hey, what did you pay for that car? They're like, oh, I paid this, but they're always talking about
it was such a good deal. Yeah. Such a good deal.
Yeah. No, they never talk about price. They're always like, no, man, check it out. It's only 10K. There's not a scratch on this. Look at it.
Yeah. It's brand new. They must take care of it.
Yeah, you got to pay to get the right car, man. It's and so you see them sell themselves, and it's just
dude. Yeah, if you could get that, if as a dealer manager, if you can get that feeling on a consistent basis out of your dealership, I mean that's a day right there. That's the way.
Yeah, I had a guy that dropped off probably about 8-9 months ago, and it became pulling teeth with him because the inventory was so hard to get up here. Yeah, like, we had a big problem here in Canada. In case anyone doesn't know, I'm in Toronto. We had a big problem here that because of the strength of the American dollar and the lack of inventory, our auction houses were just flooded with American buyers buying anything and everything over retail in Canadian dollars, but then selling them down there at market value. Like our guys are so strapped for inventory, it's ridiculous. Every used car in Canada went up in value over the last 8 months. So I have perfect example. I have my little Scion XP that I love driving. I paid $14,000 for that 5 years ago. I got it appraised at $15,000 like last month. I drove it for 3 years and made money on it. So it's like, that's what's happening here. So this guy fell right off, but he had 3 or 4 high ticket items, CX9s, top of the line, full loaded packages, nav, everything. Couldn't move them for the life of them. I took one, did it, put it out there. The general manager personally brought his family in to buy that car the next day. Then I did the next one beside it. And then he had 2 people bidding on that car at the same time in the showroom. So now I have carte blanche in the showroom again because he now realizes that people aren't the way they were a few years ago. They're not just going to buy a car because it's available and it's there. Now they're picky. Now they want to see the value of the car.
And there's some people that just don't care. So we're not talking about those. Some people just don't see aesthetics, like just don't. So we're not talking about those people. But if they do,
that's care, the ones with the bad credit,
right? Yeah, I mean, that's probably true. It's probably true.
Yeah. You'd have a hard time getting them.
Okay, I'll get a car. I can get a car. Okay, great. I'll take it.
Exactly.
Not those customers, but like we have to be like we live in an age of image. I mean, probably everywhere. I assume like Northern California is, it's a big deal, but image is super important. So if you see a car, like if you're going to drive an old car, it at least better look nice because you don't want to have an old car and it looks like shit. Yeah, and be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the looks are just so important, whether you like it or not. It just is the case.
Well, it is.
Um,
It's vanity. People,
yeah.
you're going
And
to
I
go
don't
out and
even,
buy a brand new 2 year old car, and you're like, hey, I saved 10 grand by getting this really beat up 3 Series Beamer. And you bring it home, and your buddies are like, I thought you were buying a new car. Corey, are you struggling? Look at all these
yeah, yeah,
scratches and everything. It's
yeah.
like, they
I
don't,
don't even
nobody wants
think
that.
it's vanity necessarily because I think that I've written a couple blog articles with the help of ChatGPT on this exact thing. But like, beauty in things is very, very important for humans to have. I think we always strive to have beautiful things. Like
Mhm.
if you've been to a hotel in Vegas and you walk to one of the older school hotels, one of the ones that was built 50 years ago, and you walk in, you're like, this feels old, carpeted,
Circus,
etc. But
circus
you
for the win, man.
circuit. But if you walk into the Bellagio or the Wynn or somebody or a Cosmopolitan, the beauty, it feels good. It really
Hmm.
does it feels better. If you've ever been to Disneyland or Disney World or another theme park, right? There's a Magic Mountain and a Disney World in California. Magic Mountain is literally just wait in line. There's metal rails, there's weeds everywhere. It's just not an experience. It's not beautiful at all. You get a ride, it's cool. But like with Disneyland, like everywhere you look is finished. Everything is
Yeah.
beautiful. They got people sweeping up popcorn if you drop all this. Like it matters. And if you look for that stuff, like the other place is cheaper, but Disneyland, the experience is way better. And I feel like that people really pay attention to beauty, and I think it's super important to have on a car too. I've just
Oh,
convinced
for sure.
myself of that over years, and you just feel better. Like if you get a car detailed and it comes out of detail and you drive in it, you're like, God dang it, it just feel good, like when
Yeah.
everything's clean.
Well, there's also
I got to focus
psychology.
on that.
People, once a car comes out, they're like, this is driving better.
Right? Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. Right.
this car feels, look at how much more power it has now.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so
So
funny,
You
but
know
it
what's
that is
matters.
true.
wild? Like
You got
talking
to sell
about
that.
all that. I have a friend of mine that has an interior design business that kind of brought it to light to me. I talked to Ryan about this. I'm sorry, Alex, maybe a year ago. But smells change the way people think. Like I went to a resort in Punta Cana for a wedding, and the first thing I did when I walked in, obviously this place is super nice, but the only thing I kept talking about was like, dude, this place smells so good. Like I just like I want to be here. So I'm like, is there a way for us to be able to come up with a distinctive smell that smells good to be able to just either put an air freshener with a RestorFX thing on it or your business logo, whatever it is, right?
Well, we do hand out RestorFX air fresheners at MTV and SEMA. So those are
Yeah,
available.
well,
But the good one that I'd recommend is if you use the new interior dress and you just miss that into the headliner and the carpets, trust me, when you sit
yeah,
in that car, you're going to be,
Yeah.
it, it feels like you've just put on a
because
warm sweater that came out of the laundry and it
yeah,
just smell, you're just like,
because could you imagine looking at a car like you just got RestorFX or ceramic coating done or both, and you look at it and you're like, oh my god, dude, this thing's great. You go pay your bill, and then you go get in your car to go home, and you're like, my god, my car smells brand
yeah,
new, right? So it's
yeah,
like, and they talk about that. People talk about it. It makes them feel good. It makes them the endorphins in their brain change,
Mhm.
and they want to go talk about their experience. And it's like, I
Yeah.
don't
yeah,
even think we think about things like that to that.
I mean, that's a thing in car culture. I mean, you like the new
Yeah, it
car smell
is.
is a for real.
Yeah,
It's a real
yeah.
thing. There's
yeah.
no
And
doubt about
nobody
that.
could do it, which is why all those new car smell products have disappeared because they all smell chemically and fake. Like new car
Yeah.
smell is a real thing.
Yeah, it's just a
But
real thing. Yeah.
this interior trim dress, even, and I'm a heavy smoker, I'll admit it. I
I'm
smoke
gonna
like a
go get it
chimney.
right now.
I smoke like somebody's going to
He's gonna
take it
go
away.
smell. He's gonna go get it and smell it right now.
But I
All right.
used it in my car, and my
Yeah.
wife got in, and she was just like, "It
You're
smells
like,
so good in
damn.
here," and like, I'm like,
That
"Yeah, it's the new interior coating. Like, it's
okay, yeah,
so
that's
good."
cool. Yeah, we're gonna have to do that. That is, I mean, I just looked it up just to make sure I hadn't just heard some bullshit over the years, but smell and emotion are the two senses. Well, smell being a sense
This
most
stuff.
linked to emotion.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah,
Interior dress, yeah.
you have to miss that shit, dude. You might have to aerosol it a little bit,
I'll
make
put
it.
some on my look. We got
It's gonna. It's like,
It's
what are
nice
you
we're gonna
wearing? What
let
are
it
you
camouflage,
wearing? I'm wearing an interior dress, baby.
we're gonna let
yeah.
it soak in. It does smell good.
This guy. Take a damn
Guarantee you,
shower in
when
that
this is
thing.
done, you're gonna walk out and your wife's gonna go, "Well, you smell great."
Yeah,
Is
that's
that a new
hilarious, dude.
shirt?
Find out.
Nice.
Yeah.
It does smell good. I'm
I
trying
was
to figure out the smell because it's a different smell. It's not. I haven't smelled that before.
Well, that's even better, right? New
I know,
smell. It's a
right?
new smell. Yeah. There's
Yeah,
something about like the new car smell that doesn't smell like anything else. You smell it and you're like, that smells like a new car.
yeah.
Like that's
But yeah,
it's
this
I
is
mean,
just
serious, yeah. And you know
such a
what, dude? Now that you
fresh.
say it, the hotels in Vegas, dude, the certain hotels in
Yeah.
Vegas smell good. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they inject stuff in the air.
They're
That's
all
all
doing
done.
I'm
it. They
sure.
do
I'm
it.
sure. Yeah, they're doing that. They know. They
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And I was
But
telling Ryan, like the number
low key,
one.
the SEMA secret is
Yeah.
Circus. It's cheap as hell and it's across the street. You can literally, and the beers are $2 less each. So you can stay at Circus
Yeah, but
for
how does
next
it
to nothing.
smell?
Yeah, I don't want to go to a circus. It
Oh,
smells
like
like a
crap.
circus.
It smells horrible.
Ah, well.
Especially if you're in the center
See?
tower. It smells like an old 1980s. It's kind of nostalgic for me
I'm
because it
out.
has that stale cigarette with chemical air cleaner on top of
That
it. I'm
smells like
like,
Vegas. Vegas,
this is
yeah.
every road trip I've been on with my family when I was a kid.
Oh, we're staying at Bellagio next time we go. Okay, that's
Yeah,
all
I
I
have
know.
a friend's got a suite in a Bellagio, so I'll just be there.
Yeah, there you go.
No,
We're going to.
no,
I've never been to Bellagio, but we're going in June, so I'll keep you posted. I'll let you
I'm
know the
just
smell. I'm gonna text you guys. Like, it smells good.
Dude, there's
Number.
supposed to be like a thing where we'll be able to smell things because I was going down the rabbit hole of owning a candle company to like make your own candles, and you
Fucking
can order. You can go online, you can order the candle that you want, and you can smell it through the computer. Yeah.
what?
Yes. The can't like look up the Candle Lab. It's probably one of the number one franchises you can buy in the country. And one of their researching, like trying to come up with
It's like some
was
AI shit.
yeah, it was and this was probably 4 or 5 years ago. We were talking about this, and they were doing all the research and they were already in R&D to be able to do stuff like that, where you can smell the candle before you buy it online.
Dude, you've been putting too much of that interior dressing on your neck there, dude.
Yeah, man. It's a ventilated area. You should use that in a
Ventilated.
It's like pretty clean.
It's a disclaimer.
It sounds crazy, but I
does
said,
sound
dude,
crazy as
if
shit.
y'all can do that'll change the whole game.
Okay, so the number I looked it up just because I was curious. You were out there getting your stuff out there, but smell is the number one sense most linked to memory, and it's also it's highly emotion. It's the one that creates the most emotion. A smell,
Yep.
crazy, right? Like you ever had a smell that linked back to like a
So
childhood thing? You're like, oh shit, I remember this
yeah.
thing.
So
I was
that's
just
what I
talking about it
got
with
with Alex.
Circus.
I
Yes,
talked
yes.
to Alex.
There you go. You talked about road trips.
I talked to Alex and I said, "Look, dude, I love the smell of RestorFX of the degreaser. Like when I used to walk,
Yeah,
when I first
yeah.
walked into RestorFX in Bellingham, like that's all I smelt was the
Yes.
degreaser.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, can we please come up with like I want that scent. I want you to figure out how you got that scent, and I want it in a air like some type of air freshener because that's what I want my front lobby to smell like. So when people walk in, that's what I want. And I want them, I want their cars to smell like it. I want my shop to smell like it. And that's
Well,
what I
so
want
you
to
just
be
need to
known
get that
for.
dressing and put it on a mist thing, or just put it in one of the degreaser bottles and just
I was
air
gonna say
freshen it.
just put it in the mop bucket and clean your floors with it.
Well,
Yeah.
we use that as a cleaner for everything, but I still can't get that. It doesn't last like as far as the smell, it doesn't last that long. It has to be in an oil based
Yeah. You
type
got to be able to
thing.
smell it through your computer. That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
Scratching stuff.
Oh boy. Oh, we got off topic. Anyways,
Yeah,
A little
sorry.
bit.
love that. So we need more retail customers with smell for sure.
With smell,
I'm gonna have
yeah.
to try to mist every car, because if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna make a note of that. We're gonna put that interior dressing in the cars, and then I'm gonna wait and see if a manager says like, "Well, that car smells good," because we start next week, so I'm gonna do that. That'd be cool.
Yeah. What you do is
Um,
you do like half of them with it and half of them without and see which ones you get more complaints on.
Right there, yeah, there you go. That's right.
I guarantee the ones with, they're going to be like, great job on that one.
But in order to get cars to put these smells into, like we got to get customers to the door, right? And so
Right.
another thing we want to talk about is the marketing program and the CRM system. We've talked about CRM systems. You should probably go back and listen to previous episodes, customer retention management system, basically an easy way to communicate with customers. Okay. And
Mhm.
especially with AI coming out, it's becoming easier and easier to do that. And I know RestorFX has a new version of the marketing program with the CRM system. So if you want to talk about that, that's some game changer
Yeah.
stuff right there.
Well, so this is all going to be live to every center in June. And what we've done is we really attacked our our digital marketing program. We had a good program. It was working effectively. It was getting leads. The problem where the breakdown was the leads were coming in. The messaging wasn't fully dialed in because we were getting, not the right types of repairs. Either people asking for interior cleanings or there's broken headlights and they're asking how much to replace. Like, so we had to pre-qualify a bit more. So we brought in a bit of a ringer, somebody that I know that's been in this digital space forever and ever and ever and ever. And he's purely driven on analytics and the models and understanding the messaging. And he'll put two sets of ads out, one with a price, one without a price, one with a certain word, one without, one with a certain shot, one without. And he'll monitor how they're doing. And what he'll
Split
start to
test.
do, split test, but
Yeah.
he's monitoring them. He's using them for 2 to 3 weeks to get his information. Then he makes a new set with everything he learned on that, and then a new one, and then a new one. And so what you'll start to notice, and anybody that's on our marketing program will start to notice that all of a sudden there's more leads coming, and they seem to be a lot more qualified than they were before. There's less silly questions we have to answer about what RestorFX is or what the right car for it is. There's still a few out there, but for the most part, the leads we're getting are a lot more qualified. So now we run into the bottleneck of one problem. Corey, you're busy. Ryan, you're busy. You guys don't have time to be answering all these questions and sitting on the phone and doing that. So we need to make this so that a smaller shop that can't afford to hire a sales rep can still manage this and not lose out on any of these types of leads or any of this type of information. It's definitely something that we've developed a CRM system that works directly with our marketing program that's going to streamline the contact and the management system specifically for RestorFX and develop them all the way down to a point where it needs you to give them a phone call. So as soon as somebody messages, there's an instant text message that goes out 5 minutes later that just says, thanks so much. Here's your inquiry. Here's our hours. Somebody's going to get back to you. We want to get you a quote. Da da da. Can you send us pictures of your car or specific damages? And people just naturally upload it. And then it's like, okay, great. Appreciate that. Da 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 da. Somebody's going to contact you during these hours or by 5 o'clock today, or etc. And then all of a sudden, you just get a little pop up on your dashboard that says, contact this person. In there, we've got their name, email address, phone number, and the year, make, model of the car. At that point, you call them. You either set them up for an interview with you guys or bring them in, quote them over the phone, however you want to do it. It starts automating from there to remind them, including a booking link. There's even payment links that are available. It's going to completely automate them all the way down to your shop to close. If for whatever reason they don't close, it goes into an ongoing nurture where every couple of weeks they're getting different sort of emails, whether it be updates about the shop, whether it be, hey, just checking to see if you still had any more questions about RestorFX, or did you want to book your car now? Even to the point where if you guys wanted to say, hey, notice you never booked with us, here's a $100 voucher to come get a $100 discount on the service.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we've automated that all down so that as owner operators, all you're literally doing is calling the people that are ready for phone calls, and everything else is being done in the background.
So is this CRM, is this going to be specifically for RestorFX centers, or like what about centers that already, one, either have a CRM, or two, like have other services as well? How is that going to work with that?
This one's directly connected to our digital marketing program. So it's not so
Okay.
much that the CRM system isn't going to be able to work with a shop that offers tint or PDR or anything like that. But the leads that are coming off this are coming off directly your marketing efforts from RestorFX. So it's not like, you're going to do an ad for Dent Pro in Sacramento and somebody's going to fill that out and it's not going to go into the system because these are the leads coming off your RestorFX ads.
So it's not implementing a new CRM system into your company. If you sign up for the digital marketing program, then this campaign, I would call it a campaign, comes with it. Is that correct? Okay. So,
Yeah,
and this is through
yeah.
Facebook typically.
Facebook, Instagram, and Google,
Okay.
and your website.
Okay, so if they call a specific phone number or
We have
message,
a
okay,
digital phone number that
yeah,
will be assigned to your account that you can call into,
yeah,
call out of. It will
yes,
record everything and automatically move them
yeah,
down
yeah,
through
yeah.
the system as well.
So it'll be a separate phone number from our phone number.
Yeah, it'll be
Yeah,
something that's set up into the system. However,
yeah.
you can link it to your direct phone so it automatically rings there as well. We have it right now where it actually links out to our sales rep's cell phone. So even if he's out on the lot, it rings
Hmm.
on his phone and it lets him know that that's what's calling, and he picks it up and he's good afternoon, Mars,
Do you know
RestorFX
which
GTA.
CRM system's being used? Ryan and I are learning about this in real time, just so you guys all
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. We're working with a much larger system. The one thing we weren't trying to do is we weren't trying to like like you said, there's a lot of CRM systems. There's so many. Some are great, some are bad, some do lots of things good, some do other
Hmm.
things good. Mobile Tech RX can scan a serial number and develop a car for
Hmm.
you. Other ones are better at ongoing maintenance or text
Hmm.
message reminders for your appointments. What we were looking for is not replacing your guys' billing software or your interaction software or your
Hmm.
invoicing software. More of, okay, if I'm going to get you 20 leads a day, do you have the capacity to sit there on the phone for the next hour and go through them
Right.
or answer
No,
messages back and forth?
yeah, right. No one does,
No.
basically. Yeah.
So I'm automating it down. I'm getting rid of the tire kickers and I'm listing
Hmm.
it down to where you come in the morning, you open up your dashboard, and you've got maybe 5 or 6 key things that you have to do right then and there. And then we recommend just checking it again in the afternoon, maybe before you go home, where it's just a few more. Right. And what that's going to do is just continually streamline and move these people naturally down the process themselves, where they feel like they're not being pushed, but they're still feeling
Hmm.
like they're making their own decisions. And it's equating it to you taking all that time running your entire marketing program and answering questions and fielding questions. And it's slimming it down to maybe an hour to an hour and a half a day
Hmm.
max,
What are
depending
you
on how
able to tell
much
us which CRM system it is?
we're working with. One of the larger ones.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's probably the same one. You can't tell
Uh,
us. That's okay. Fair enough, I guess. Um,
well, I mean, it's not a big secret that what we're working with. It's just that it's not so much the CRM system that we're working with,
well,
it's
I'm
the
curious because
background.
I have a CRM system. So does Ryan. So do a lot of other guys. Like, can I
Mhm.
integrate that with my current one, or do I have to use two things now? Because I can't get rid of my CRM system just for the RestorFX one now because
Right.
I have so much stuff built out with all the other stuff. And
Yeah.
now that CRM system is going to be integrated completely with Mobile Tech RX as of next Monday for me.
Mhm.
And so I'm locked. I'm locked in. So my question is, can I integrate all that stuff together, or do I have to use two?
I believe so. I believe you
Yeah,
can integrate them all together.
I'm pretty sure too. Make them show up on the
Yeah.
same dashboard. Running through
Yeah.
your campaign that you've created that works, that's
Yeah.
tested, that's split tested. Love that. I just want to, I'll look at it all in one dashboard, which I think,
Exactly.
yeah,
And I believe that it does have the ability to link the two
T-
dashboards
yeah.
together for you so you can see both and run them
Okay,
as
that's cool.
independents. Right. The one big thing that's different, like between the system that you're using now and what's going on here, is
Hmm.
we literally have 4 people dedicated to
Yeah,
building out all the triggers. Right.
yeah.
So they're constantly testing, they're beta testing, they're
Mm,
in live time testing. Right now, we've rolled it out between the Bellingham head office and my shop, and the customer interaction rate has
yeah,
skyrocketed.
yeah.
I've already booked, I've been on it for 3 weeks and I've already booked 5 retail jobs
Hmm.
at over $1,000 each. So it's more than 4 times the budget market budget that I'm using right now.
Hmm. I
Hmm.
love that.
That's,
And
yeah.
if the last, I'm just gonna say this, if the last 5 or 10 minutes is been a little bit confusing for you, like you better learn some shit because you're gonna
Hmm.
be screwed if you're
Or
not. You're gonna
just
be,
go back and listen to all of our
no,
podcasts
I'm just
on
saying
the
like
CRM
Yeah.
stuff.
this is where the world is going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Like
sure.
3 years from now, like if you're not doing this, you're probably not in business. I'm like flat
Yeah.
out. Like Mobile
Yeah.
Tech RX, like we just got off an episode of Mobile Tech RX. Mobile Tech RX is now communicating with another CRM system to do almost this exact same thing. Basically, the whole point is going to be like all inbound leads will be worked digitally before they get to us.
Yeah.
which is like there's days where I've gotten 30 to 40 leads and we don't close, like we don't, people are like, ask about this, ask about that, whatever. Like they're not in my city, like all kinds of different reasons. But like that all takes time. This is all going to be done through a campaign, and probably within the next 12 months is going to be done literally with AI. AI is learning to recognize dents now, dents
Mhm.
with scratches in them, and learning how to estimate that as well. Like like all of that's coming.
Yeah.
So my point being is like, if you're confused about this stuff, or if you don't understand it or whatever, like you're gonna have to understand it. You're gonna have to figure it out, or at least be a part of companies like RestorFX, that you're not your own company that's not licensed with anybody or whatever, and trying to do this all on your own, because like I can't do it all. I don't know how to do this. Like I
Yeah.
don't know how to do this. Ryan, do you know? Like I could hire somebody to do this for me, but like I can't make these things happen. So
No, that's why I hired a ringer.
right, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. But
Because I looked at it and I went, no.
yeah, but like being a part of RestorFX and being a part of like basically using these SaaS softwares like Ryan and I talked about in our last episode, which you should go listen to with Mobile Tech RX, with Eric Garvis. But like the SaaS products, they're very, very important because they make these things so much easier. SaaS is software as a service, which is essentially
Yeah.
what this is. And being a part of a company like RestorFX that's continually upgrading the way that we do business is so important.
Well,
So
and
important.
it's key because here's the thing: like, when things are getting bad, like they are right now, and the government, the economy's crap, and nobody
Mhm.
knows what to do with money. Do you put
Or
it
they're
in the
just
stocks? Do you
scared.
not?
Yeah.
Do you buy Bitcoin? Do you don't? Do you
Mm.
sell your house? Do you not move? Do you become a hermit and live in the mountains?
Mhm.
Nobody knows.
Mhm.
But to know that all the people in the upper echelon of RestorFX are also
Ryan's
center
still huffing
owners.
the Ryan's still huffing it.
He's loving it, man. I told you it smells good. But to know that all these people not only run this company, but we also run centers. Like
Yeah.
I am an owner operator of my own center. I
Mhm.
have the same challenges you guys have.
Mhm.
You've
So
had a
instead
little
of
bit more
having,
because you're in Canada, but
oh yeah, it's just
Fair,
yeah,
fair.
yeah. Let's not even
Even
Anyways,
more challenges. That's good.
it's a lot more challenges here. Um, but because of that, I'm getting real time feedback as it's happening to you guys. It's happening to me.
Mhm.
uh,
Like, so we can pivot so quickly. We don't have to wait for 6 months for all of you to come together and say, hey, here's a bit of a problem we recognize. And then we go, oh, hey, let's look into this and wait 6 months
Mhm.
to we can pivot like this on a dime. And we're really here to commit to all these centers and all these new potential business owners and everything like that. If you are worried about uncertainty, the one thing you can be guaranteed of is at RestorFX, we are always going to be there to support, help you develop and grow. We want to work with you. If you're committed to making something, if you're committed to, putting the investment in on your side, you're going to get it from us tenfold because we're going to make sure you guys have what you need to be successful. And if we
Mhm.
identify an issue, we're going to fix it and we're going to fix it quick, right? The marketing program, it was working. It developed a new, you know, funnel of problems that we never anticipated, which was our center osers are too busy to get to all these leads,
Mhm.
right? So here you guys are spending the money to get the leads. The leads are coming in. You don't have time to talk to them. Maybe one or two you talk to, you might close one or two every couple months. If we can make that down to a 1 hour process a day, you can start to get return on your money.
Yes.
And that's our point. The other thing I got to say about that is if you're a business, much like you're saying with the SaaS, if you're a business and you're not advertising right now,
Mhm.
you might as well just close
Mhm.
down. Advertising is key, and so many people are like, oh geez, I don't know, $500 is a lot of money or $1,000 is a lot of money, but then they're trying to figure out why they've lost 30% of
Mhm.
their revenue. Like advertising is key.
It's very natural though. It's like the dealership cutting the reconditioning on the cars because it's a short-term fit. It feels good. Like, okay, I saved this much money. So it's the same type of
Yeah,
thing. Like cut ads because
yeah,
it'll be better that way or whatever. But it's
yeah.
in the long term, it's just not, and that's tough. That's why I mean, yeah, you got to get it before it hurts. Like you got to spend the money and not get to the point where it hurts to spend $1,000. I think
Yeah.
is the key.
Yeah,
Um,
and that's just it. If you're not willing to spend at least $1,000 on your own income,
mhm.
why do you expect anybody else to spend it, right? So you need to do it. I always use the analogy of McDonald's because I have a friend that worked on their digital media campaign. There, there's not a McDonald's on the planet that somebody can't go in there and tell you at least half of the menu. But they still spend 5 billion a year on advertising.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like, think
So-
about that number, 5 billion, and we all know what cheeseburger, Big Mac, quarter pounder with cheese. Like we know
French
what's
fries, yeah.
there, filet of fish, McRib,
Yeah.
depending on where you are.
Yeah, but they say but they're still telling you it's true, no doubt about that.
So that's one of the big things. But the nice thing with the development of the new materials is the quality of the leads are a lot stronger. The
And I mean the nurturing, like you said, quality and nurturing. Like nurturing is super
Yeah.
important, and
and
people
the
people
engagement.
and people if they're filling out a form to get something, they want to be taken care of. Like
Yeah.
it's a spontaneous emotional thing sometimes, and
The-
they don't want you to call them in 48 hours. Like they just
No,
They
no,
want
it's
it
speed
now.
to lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
The
if
reason why
and if
they're
AI can help
messaging
you
on
with that, like that's very, very, very important. Yeah.
the reason they're messaging on a digital media is they're used to getting their answer 30 seconds after.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And that's what they want. Even if
Mhm.
the answer is, hey, I'll get back to you tomorrow. But they want something.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It went through. There's someone on the other side that's gonna take care of me. That's what you want for sure.
Yeah.
And honestly, like we talk about this like we know because we're in it, but majority of the world does not know when they're interacting with technology for the most part.
No.
Like on the AI side, like 90 plus, 90 plus percent don't know, especially when it's done right. When it's the basic stuff. Hey, you add their name. Hey, Ryan, thanks for reaching out. We'll get back to you, or send some photos here. We'll get to you, blah, blah, blah. And like all that natural stuff. And then when it needs human interaction, the human picks it up.
Yeah.
And I think that's the future of a lot of the stuff we're doing until AI can just be me and respond for me. And it learns how I would talk about that. And then it'll do it in an audio format using my voice. Don't
Better than
laugh.
you.
Don't laugh because that shit's coming.
It's already here. That's already there.
It's already
Yeah.
here, just not really
Yeah.
implemented fully because it's still got some bugs to work out. But
Yeah.
that shit's coming. 100% it's coming. I will be doing sales calls 24 hours a day within the next year and a half with audio. 100%.
Yep. And nonstop. It'll just
Yeah,
sound
24 hours a day.
and
It'll
act
just be talking to Corey.
Yeah, and it'll
my
even learn
voice.
like your specific
Yeah.
pitch and tones and
Yeah. Mhm.
weird enunciations and everything.
Can we
It'll
figure
pick
out
it
how
all
to get this podcast done without us having to be here?
That's just coming too, dude.
up. Chat
That's
GPT
just coming.
podcast.
I mean, dude, well, it's interesting, Ryan, because we have so much audio of our voice. If when that time
Yeah.
comes to upload that audio and we upload these audios to the learning, whatever AI is learning our voices, like it'll be done. We've said every word, we've said every inflection, we've done everything over like hundred hours of audio. Done.
Yeah.
And that's weird. I get it. I'm not like saying it's the best way, but like I'm just saying it is what's going to happen.
So this isn't AI, just if you're thinking.
This is real Corey,
us.
real
Yeah.
real Coach Corey. Yeah.
Suck it up while you can.
Ryan's for actually smelling stuff through the computer. Okay, Ryan. Yeah. Oh, let's read this, right? Come on. Ryan
Go
sends some
ahead.
stuff in our group chat. Computers currently cannot directly smell in the way humans do. Digital olfaction technology is being developed to mimic and potentially even replicate sense. Osmo's AI-driven approach, a startup spun out of Google Research, is using AI to digitize sense by creating a principal odor map, a POM, uses machine learning, which is AI, to map the structure of aroma molecules to their corresponding sense.
Yep. Suck it.
And then Ryan said, like, my website's gonna smell exactly like my lobby.
Yeah.
And like your vape, dude.
Yeah.
Like you do.
It's
It'll
perfect.
smell like
Dude.
degreaser and old farts.
This
Yeah.
this shit's gonna get wild, dude. Like this is
Mhm.
disruption of business. This is industrial revolution time of the
and
world.
here's the
for
thing:
sure.
like back then, it used to be the big companies, Walmart, McDonald's, whatever. You know, you'd
Yeah.
oh yeah, they're using it, whatever.
Mhm.
But if you're
like,
listening to this podcast right now and you're in the middle of, I don't know, Arkansas or
Mhm.
Oklahoma or whatever, don't think it's not coming to you.
It's
I
coming.
know it's intimidating. I know
Yeah,
it's
it
scary.
sounds scary, yes. And it sounds
But-
like oppressive government, like overreach. They're gonna steep. I don't even know. Whatever, all that stuff
No.
too. I get it.
But the reason why people are doing it is because it works.
Yeah. Mhm.
right? So if you
Mhm.
have a partner like us, go with it. If not, find somebody that's good at it and have them develop one for you. But either way, you need to start marketing yourself, and then you need to have a way to manage that while you're busy doing the job. You're good at the job, do the job. Let
Yeah.
somebody else take care of everything else.
Yes.
You know, sort of like how I said, let somebody else take care of detailing. Let somebody else take care of the responding to these people.
Mhm.
And if that's a computer, then so be it.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
make
At
sure the
least,
computer is friendly.
yeah. And at least for part of it too, like there is a human on the other end of it at some point, and that's fine. If they do want to call and pick up the, like you can still do that for now, and that's all
Absolutely.
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Product.
Go ahead.
We need the product. We need the juice on the new product.
Yeah.
Oh, the
You
new
want to talk about
materials.
Mhm.
were you talking about the ceramic coating?
All of it.
Okay. Talk about it. Well,
Dude, that was full before you started sniffing it, eh?
yeah. Well, yeah. You
No.
like snorting it now, drinking that shit. Uh, can we talk about the ceramic coating?
Of course.
Sick.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So one of the things we wanted to do, this was sort of a project of mine I've been working on for about 2 years now. So I'm really excited that this is out there.
Hmm.
Um, it, I always found it really frustrating that we had RestorFX, ClearFX, and Numbers, and we never equated that the three actually are the same thing or work together or anything like that. We treated them all as separate independent companies, which I think was a big disservice to ourselves. So one of the things I really worked on was a bit of a rebrand. So now think of RestorFX as more of a blanket multi-tiered company. So the new tagline that we're using, and you guys saw it on the display at MTE, and we're using it on social medias and stuff, is restore, protect, maintain. And that essentially is the three pillars of our business. We restore a car through RestorFX, we protect it through our ceramic coatings, and then we maintain it through our detail line of products. So I really just rehoned everything and named it those products. The protect, RestorFX is still RestorFX. You know, there's always R&D going on in there. There's nothing major there that's developing except for potentially a new applicator might be launched very soon that's very, very lint free. Um, so
And
that
we want to be able to put Restore FX over panels with clear already gone.
that's a much bigger
I
challenge. You
know,
know,
I know.
we're going to have to make salacious claims that our product is incredibly thick, like the size of a Jolly Rancher or something like another company that shall not be named. But
Jolly Rancher.
they actually told us that once. I'm like, as thick
1,000
as
mils.
it's as thick as a Jolly Rancher. I'm like, so you sit in your car and you can actually see it, like
That's
it's
fucking
on
hilarious.
the hood there. It's
Anyways, Restore FX coming. Applicator pads down the road. All
new
right.
applicators will be coming out very, very soon. So these are definitely going to be a bit of a game changer for a lot of people, especially if you're going higher end, newer, you know, cars that people tend to shy away from just due to the installation errors that are natural because it's human applied.
Mhm.
So these are just going to make it that much easier. I've used it on some really high end stuff right now, and the finishes have been absolutely stunning. So we're thrilled with that. Um, so that's what's new on the RestorFX side. The ceramic side, we've now reinvented the lineup a little bit, and we're going multi-tiered. Okay, we're going to have what we call Protect One, which is a 1 year base coating, and these are for your budget conscious guys. You know, the guys coming in off Instagram going, so and so down the street's doing it for $4.99. Well, I got
Mhm.
that as well. It's a 1 year coating. And then we got the upgrade to the 5 to 6 year coating called Protect Pro. Currently out for testing and not ready, but I'm going to leave it out there. Is we are looking at a self healing coat as well. And there's a few centers that have it out for testing. It's a 2 part application, and the upper layer is able to repair itself from minor marring and scratching stuff that, like, if the dealer accidentally sends your car through one of the detailers or whatever, you can take heat to it with a heat gun, hot water, or California sun, and it will start to repair itself and go back to that gleaming, beautiful shine. So those are our new 3 tiers of the Protect line to sort of capture a larger scope of the market. The maintain side, we reinvented all the products, and I went very high end with them.
Hold
So
on. Pause. I gotta
pause,
pause. I gotta wait.
unsubscribe.
Self-healing ceramics. So the only thing I've ever I heard self-healing, it was from PPF, paint protection film, which I've
Yep.
seen. Like it's pretty impressive. Like if it's got a scuff in there or it's like pretty deep in there and you throw heat on it, like it it self heals. Like I thought that was silly sounding, but it legit does it. It's gone, you know.
Yep.
And so I haven't tried this new ceramic coating yet, but I'm thinking like you put it on there, you let it fully cure, you take it through a car wash anyways, because I got 3 kids and I don't like washing cars. Not gonna lie. And I get some
There's always
brush
a
scratches
drought
on
in
it. And
California.
what's that?
And there's
Not
always
right
a drought
now.
in California.
Not right now. But yeah, it will be next year. Don't worry, it's coming.
Yeah.
So I take it through a car wash and then I drive it around in 100-degree weather and it's pretty much gone.
It'll start healing itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially on those hot, late summer days. That'll be enough heat to do it. If not, just take a heat gun to it and just
Right.
slowly go
Yeah.
over the
Yeah.
surface and it'll heal
We
all
ought
that
to just
stuff.
we ought to start inventing drive-through heaters where you just like drive your car through the fucker and it
After
makes
the
it
car
brand new.
wash.
Yeah, just-
So now, Brian, all you gotta do is acquire a car wash, bro. Just acquire a car wash, okay?
Yeah.
I'm on it. I'm on
And
it.
then
Yeah.
put a fucking $100,000 heater in at the end of it, like a paint
Yeah.
booth baking system, basically.
Yeah.
You just go car wash, heater, car's perfect.
Yeah.
As long as
That
you
works.
get this $2,000 ceramic coating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually a good idea though.
Yeah. It
And
is
it's gonna
limited.
smell and
I
it's
don't
gonna
want
smell
to.
the same as your lobby. Just sorry.
Yeah.
I don't want to mislead people to think that oh, you're going to hit it with a shopping cart and
I
that's
know
just
that.
going to
Yeah,
magically
that's
come out.
that's always the hard
Like,
part. Yeah.
You're only dealing with like 1 to
Minor
1.5
stuff.
microns of,
Yeah.
so it's really designed for if a car is improperly washed or,
Yeah, but I'm
like
thinking car
minor
washes.
stuff.
I'm thinking car wash, like
Yep.
it puts little micro scratches, unless there's something like a rock stuck in there, which is happening,
Right.
obviously, but like just the
Or
basic. Or you're
we've all
brushing
been
it
there
with
when
the
a
car
car,
wash, brush it with the thing,
we've all been out there where, that brand new black car that we just ceramic coated and some guy walks up and it's like, oh, that looks so nice. And he's
And
rubbing
then
his hand all over
yeah,
you.
and
Just
that,
like, yeah.
yeah. Now it's scratched right there.
You look
Yeah.
with your eyes. You learned this when you were 3. Come on.
Now 3-year-olds look with their mouth, bro.
Yeah.
Stick it right in their mouth. But yeah, that's cool. Okay, so that's first to market. That's the first.
There's
I've never heard
other
of this
products out there, but it's going to be a much more price friendly level for the centers.
So I can tell them it's the first to market. This is the first time. This is the only self-healing ceramic coating in Sacramento. You can't go anywhere else and get a self-healing ceramic coating. Can you? I don't know. Never heard of it.
There is another product that's out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
and it's based out of
fair enough.
California.
God.
And it's all green. It's friendly. It's
You can
all
throw
that
it straight in the
stuff.
trash. Yeah, you feed it right
Yeah,
to feed it right to the turtles, and it'll actually make them grow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it does actually.
Okay, so not first to market, but almost one of a kind.
But
Fair enough.
at price point, you're going to be able to outcompete the other one easily
Okay.
because our
Sick,
price
right.
point's a lot better. So,
Love it.
so that's what's coming out on the ceramic side. The detail side, the stuff that Ryan's been huffing all afternoon. We now have a whole new line of detail products, and we've divided it into 2. So it's the Maintain line, and we have the Maintain Pro series and the Maintain DIY series. And what we wanted to do is create a series of really high-end, effective, good working products that just really make running a shop, even as a detailer, easier, more effective, and saves you time. Time's money. These products work fast. So we have everything from really high quality polishes that can do a 2-stage cut and finish beautifully well with a DA. We have quick cleaning wheel cleaners. We have the long lasting wheel coating that Ryan was talking about that's on there. We have a recovery wash, which is really, really cool. So if you have a vehicle, you've ceramic coated it, and we've all had this where a guy comes back 8 months, 9 months later, he's like, oh, look, it's not working. You guys didn't do anything. It all fell off, this and that. No, it's just sediments landed on the top. So this is a decontamination wash that removes all the organic and iron oxide sort of sediments in the vehicle in a single wash to reset that ceramic coating.
Needed that like last month.
Yep.
I didn't even know that was in there.
And then
I gotta watch your video
then, and you've seen the videos that I posted of the new super hydrophobic SiO2 based wash that just rejuvenates and resets a car. And this will easily last 3 to 4 months. And that's going through a Canadian winter. Like we get bad weather up here. So that lasts 3 to 4 months through that. And then the DIY line is a line of entire products designed to you have a customer that's come in, they've spent the money with you for the car. 9 times out of 10, the first question is, how do I maintain this?
Mhm.
And the typical
Yeah.
answer has been like, get a gentle car wash, do
Yeah,
this, do you have
blah, blah, blah,
buckets?
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's an entire line
Buy
of
this.
products that you can sell to an average person that can clean and maintain their car, and there's no chance of them causing any issues with it.
Here's
the
what I'm
Pro
thinking.
line, if
Go
used
ahead.
incorrectly, can cause
Mhm.
issues.
Right. Yeah.
So you need
Mhm.
somebody that knows how to work with them.
And that's always the case. That's all like all the DIY stuff online, Griot's Garage, all that stuff. I think most of them have a pro line that they only sell to businesses because you'll
Mhm.
screw up the car. And so this is normal. Like more aggressive chemicals, they do a better job, but you have to be a somewhat training. The company won't sell it DIY because there's just like a liability. You just like
Mhm.
Yeah.
they call you up and be like, you screwed my car up. No,
It's
you
like,
screwed
you
your car up.
screwed
You
the
didn't
car
read the
up.
directions. Like no one wants
Yeah.
that conversation.
Right.
So they have the pro line, which is just better, but also can be worse. That's like
Yeah.
the same thing between a spray on ceramic versus like a professional ceramic. Like you could screw up a car with professional ceramic. You wipe it on, walk away, it's screwed up. It's crystallized, it's rainbowed, it's whatever.
You can screw up a car with a cheap ceramic.
Can you? Okay, I didn't think you could.
Yeah.
Like a spray on stuff.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
can
think.
do it.
Okay,
I've seen
okay,
people do it in
okay.
direct sunlight in their
Yeah.
driveway,
Oh,
and
true,
they come
true.
back
Yeah.
like, how do I
Yeah.
get this off?
Yeah.
You know,
You
so,
don't. RestorFX.
yeah.
What is a
Yeah.
SIL2 wash? I know what
It's
it
an
does, but what is SIL2? Like I like to know.
SiO2.
SiO2.
Yeah.
That's the chemical.
SiO2 is literally the fancy word for saying a ceramic coat. It stands for silica dioxide.
Dioxide, yeah.
And that's the
Okay.
basis of
SiO2
every
here.
ceramic based coating is a silica dioxide. That's why you'll hear the term glass coating, because it's one step from glass. Silica, which is glass ingredient, and
Yeah.
dioxide, 2 oxygen molecules attached.
Yeah. What's
So
glass?
glass is glass. It's silica.
What
It's
is
sand.
glass? SiO2. What is it? What are we missing? What
It's
chemical?
it's made out of sand. I don't know. I'm not a chemist. Don't
Okay.
ask me.
I'm gonna find out right now online. I'm gonna just ask Google AI, bro.
Ask ChatGPT.
I'm gonna ask Google AI right now.
Just wait a minute, it'll pop up on its own.
Yeah, right. Soon enough. I should just see it in my eyes here.
It's gonna go. This podcast is
that's
brought to you by glass.
okay. So silica SiO2 is the foundation of glass. Silica is also found in sand and other minerals. Interesting. Soda ash helps lower the melting point of silica and increases the glass solubility in water, and then limestone adds hardness. Interesting. So SiO2, yeah, is the foundation of glass, but there's just other things mixed with it. Huh.
Mhm.
All right, that's good to know.
Yep.
I've
And
used that
that's
word. I've used that a lot, like putting, it's like putting it's glass on your car. I've used that because it's damn near. Yeah.
and here's a
Interesting.
bit of an education session.
Yeah.
Ceramic coat, by definition. So you hear all these different types of ceramic coat,
Mhm.
and there's ceramic plates and ceramic pans and ceramic
Right.
grates.
Yeah. Right.
All
Yeah.
ceramic means is a technical term of two chemicals mixed together in such a way they're not found naturally in nature.
Really?
That's all ceramic means.
Wow.
So
So
silica and 2 oxygen molecules are not found naturally in nature. They're
or like
created.
glass.
It's
Glass
found in
itself.
sand and has to be mixed with heat, which puts the oxygen into it.
Right. So it's a ceramic.
It's a ceramic.
That's fascinating.
Hmm.
I'm gonna fact check you on that right now.
Go ahead.
I think, yeah, I've heard that before. I've actually heard that.
Ceramic
Yeah, there is
just
like when you think about it, like it is like this like ceramic breaks, ceramic pots and pan, like it is everywhere.
Yeah.
It really is.
ceramic figurines in your grandmother's house. They're everywhere.
Yeah. I'd have to yeah, I'd have to look. It's hard to find. It's like talking about like actual clay, like clay ceramic. I'm having to go through a bunch of that stuff because that is the ceramic is like the
If you just say
making
ceramic beating.
ceramic
definition.
what beating
Ceramic definition.
ceramic definition. Please hold.
Scientific definition.
I like this stuff. And you guys
Yeah.
are gonna learn something. You guys are just fixing dents or working on cars anyways. You can wait a second.
Yeah.
Right?
This is better than Joe Rogan.
So while he's doing that,
Joe Rogan does this all the time, bro. He just got a guy that does it for him. He's like, hey, look this shit up for me. Yeah. We ain't there yet. We're like
Hey,
1.5 million downloads per episode short, but we're almost there.
We're getting there one at a time. All right. And one thing I wanted to talk about this one because this goes
Yeah.
back to something Ryan brought up. And I don't even think Ryan knows this because I don't think he was at our meeting because he doesn't like a free lunch. So,
He was
uh,
there.
part of the
You
new,
left.
yeah, part of the new setup with the protect and the maintain line is we're giving every RestorFX center regional distribution for those products. So in your territory, you can distribute, sell, and supply other detailers, dealerships, body shops, people these products to use. Retail them out of their parts department, out of their front of their store. You can become your own minor distributor for this product across your territory. And the nice thing about that is when somebody calls them and says, "What product are you using?" "I'm using RestorFX Protect." So now they're building your brand for you.
Yeah.
And we even
So
have it available in 5-gallon
And
bulkhead packs if you want.
and you were talking about selling that at dealerships, right, Ryan? Like out of the parts department or what?
no,
Yeah,
in the
well, they were
service
asking to buy
department,
the
service,
tire
service and
dressing.
parts. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
So we get this a lot. Like obviously, we're talking about customer comes in, gets restore, or they get ceramic. They ask how to maintain it. We sell them these products. How does the customer know how to use this stuff?
We have instructions on the bottles, but also
Is it
eventually
like
there
is
will
it
be
on the
videos.
yeah, so yeah, we talked
There'll
about
be
that a while
videos.
ago. I
Yeah,
just
there'll
wanted
be
to make sure
videos. Yeah.
everybody knew there was going to be videos because
Yeah.
customers love that. Is
Mhm.
that going to be? Are they going to have a different logo on the one? Not logo, but right. The stuff that we got obviously has a sticker on it that says sample testing,
Yes.
evaluation only, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you
Cool.
get a forward facing product, there's certain disclaimers that have to be on the bottle, and we're in the process of getting all those made.
Mm.
Because we've never actually had a forward facing designed product, it never came
Hmm.
up as an issue. So that was a big surprise at the end. So the secret to get you guys the samples out to test and start playing with them was to put that on there. And then
Gotcha.
that waives our liability of, oh, you weren't supposed to sell it anyways. But
I just don't want to
um,
be. I wanted to make sure that we're selling this stuff, and then I'm not getting the customer calling me every day to like learn how to use it.
Yeah.
well, the
Right.
good news
Yeah.
with
It's you don't
the
make enough money
DIY
on the
stuff is
product.
easy.
No.
Yeah, the DIY stuff is really, really, really simple to use. It just follow the instructions on it. They're as simple to use. The whole point of that was my logic when designing that lineup was if I was going to give this stuff to my dad, who's an accountant, could he clean his car with it and it
Right.
would look good and it wouldn't have a problem?
Right.
And that was my mentality. So
Right.
some of those products are really actually quite fascinating. You have the silicone, the spray detailer, quick recovery.
Mm-hmm.
If you wash a car and it doesn't have any beading on it at all, like it's just sort of an older car, if you miss that onto the panel, it will automatically shoot and beat everything. And then you can just buff it off like normal and it will create that ceramic effect for a few weeks.
Nice.
That's good
Right.
video.
So
Nice.
it's a really cool video. The tire dressing, the DIY version, the green one, can actually be mixed down with water to get to your desired shine level. I'm a guy that likes a tire that looks wet. Most people like a tire that looks sort of clean. Some people like them that they're just black but dull. You can just keep mixing this product down to a point that you get the shine that you desire.
Hmm.
So it's actually designed to be cut down.
And that can go over the other stuff. Like if a customer comes in, they get our stuff where we put the long lasting tire shine. They can start to go over that with that.
Yeah, eventually that will break down on its own. You may want to
Mm.
use the tire clean that we have. You spray that on, let it sit for 5 minutes, give it a scrub, rinse,
Then start over.
and
Yeah.
then it's going to take everything off, and then you can just give them the normal stuff. And the great thing is they're all body shop safe, so you can use these in the middle of your RestorFX shop.
The only thing that's not
Oh,
body
that's
shop
cool.
safe is the trim, right?
13 trim, yes. If you
Yeah.
are using 13 trim, use gloves and basically take them off outside of your shop and burn them and sacrifice
Yeah.
them to
Fucking
whatever.
put that
Just in the
bottle in
dumpster.
a
Just put it in the
yeah.
dumpster outside.
When you're
Yeah,
not using that bottle, put that thing in a
This is
safe or
the
something.
yeah,
trim restorer.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
the
Because
black.
yeah. The trim
yeah.
repair. Not the trim
Interesting.
restorer, the trim for the maintain line.
So
Oh,
don't
that's
sell
gotcha.
that. You sell that to
It's
a
kind
body
of an
shop, dude, and that'll be the last thing you sell.
yeah, it's kind of oily. It does like a high gloss finish on say like plastic trims and around and everything like that, but it's
And I
it
don't
is
think
not body shop safe.
I don't think I saw that one. I have a trim that's got like a little scratch in it. You think I could heat it up and put this on there? I'm gonna try that. outside of my shop? Maybe.
No, yeah,
I'm gonna
try it.
try it.
What the,
I'm gonna
yeah,
try it. Yeah.
what do I
I'll
got
let
to
you.
lose
I'll
at
let
this
you
point?
know. I'll let you know.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll get the
Hey,
email. You
hey,
screwed up my car.
yeah, Ryan. When you got that touch up line that I started selling
Hmm.
to. I started selling that and do like
Oh yeah,
giving the customer something when you do a service for them is even like I bought these little bottles on Amazon.
me too. Yep.
And I put the extra, I mix up a half ounce, put the touch up in there. I close it up with my a sticker, a Dent Pro RestorFX sticker, whatever the two I have, give it to them. And now they took something. And it's
Yep.
like, it cost me like, I think 60 cents or something for this whole setup, but they feels good. And I'm like, I'm thinking, I'm just gonna buy this product, this whole line of product. I'm just gonna, if you get a full car Restore FX, you just get it for free, and I'll just
Hmm.
up the price of Restore FX. And also that you bought RestorFX, you get this
Well,
whole
because they're gonna
line.
keep coming back if they love the
I
product that much, right?
What's I'm saying, but like instead of upselling it afterwards, I'm just like RestorFX was $1,000, now it's $1,300, and you get
Yeah,
12
a lot of
products.
companies do that in
Yeah, that's
general, where
I'm
you
like
get the
just sell it
kit if
all.
you buy it,
Yeah,
because in the you're gonna come back and keep buying the refill, right?
right. But I'm saying like you can up the price of RestorFX 'cause it's worth it anyways. But now they get a box, you put it in a bucket or whatever, and you can give that to them all at once, like instead of selling it afterwards.
Mhm.
I'm thinking that's the play right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We even had a guy that was because our cost per unit is so low on the
Yeah.
Protect One. We're doing a Restore Effects, and if we got a guy that's really pushing, we're like, hey, we'll give you a free ceramic coat,
Right. Yeah.
and we're
Yeah.
using the Protect One.
Yeah.
You could also use this stuff as promotional, like you can give a kit away for like
Oh yeah, that's
shares and
actually
all this
nice.
other
That's actually
shit,
nice
right?
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
charities and
That's good though,
giveaways
because
at
we don't
like the
have a
local
lot in
school.
our business to do that. We don't really have a lot, but that's
No.
like
Mhm.
here the car care kit. Who doesn't love a car care kit? Like who doesn't love
Always.
that?
Yeah.
Everybody freaking loves that. Sticking in the back of your car.
Yep.
Is it like there's no box for all of it to be sold as a kit though, huh? It's like all separate bottles. There's no like this is your McGuire's car care 52 piece car care kit or whatever. You know what I'm
Well,
talking about? It's
no,
got like a microfiber, like you know what I'm talking about? Like
yeah.
that works.
It
Well, we got
does.
to tread that really thin line between are we a detail product company or are we a
Yeah, I know.
restore effects
Yeah,
company,
yeah,
right? So
for
we're
sure. Yeah,
always teetering.
yeah,
And, and really, I'm going to roll all these out, which I've rolled out now. They went live 30 days ago,
hmm
as you guys know.
yeah,
And we're going to monitor. If products
yeah,
aren't doing well or the response we're getting isn't good, I'm cutting it loose. And we're going to try
yeah,
and find something that works better. If we hear
yeah,
people saying, hey, all this is great, but I need something like this,
yeah.
we'll look to adding to it. I think that with the way before all the tariffs get enacted, people should have been
Mm.
on Timu getting yellow buckets with, RestorFX logos put on them and shipped over like 50 with a wash mitt. And
Yeah,
you put
microfiber
that
and
in the
like
car
yeah,
wash and
right.
throw it into, here's your gift. See you
Yeah,
later.
here's the gift, and that's a good gift too. I mean,
Yeah.
that's wonderful for
You
sure.
know, grit guard buckets with a wash mitt and happy days.
Yeah. Um, I want to go back to the ceramic coating. You mentioned something earlier. We were talking about the UV resistance on the ceramic coating. Super important out here in California, especially other states too. But this new like top of the line self healing UV.
Mhm.
You said basically. I think you said that it's more UV protection than a PPF ceramic currently. Like if you got
Yes.
PPF and ceramic, it'll protect more UV than an actual layer of plastic on your car.
Yes. Yeah. It
It's
actually
very
absorbs
impressive.
more of the UV than that.
That's
Um,
pretty epic.
we've been doing some testing with another partner or another company that's been gracious enough to lend us some time with their accelerometer to weather the crap out of everything. And we did some samples, and they gave us some vinyl samples to test on. And the degradation from just the normal ceramic to this was 3 times better, um, less degradation than
Damage,
the
yeah.
just ceramic coating.
So are you
Now
able to
the
do like
I
a UV test where it's like a sped up version of it or something?
They basically put it into a machine that gives it 8,000 hours of every weather condition that you can imagine and test it.
That's badass.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is a big company. They got a lot of money. They're gonna
8,000 hours, you said?
they're gonna buy out Ryan. So
Ryan's gonna acquire that. So basically that's almost a year.
yeah. Yeah.
333 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you
And
said
they do
8,000,
that.
how much per day?
They do
Eight.
it for 8,000 hours, and then they measure the degradation of it and the reflectivity and the gloss comparison and the lumens and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And based on the numbers I saw, there was 3 times less degradation and damage and reduction of gloss and
So
inability to
three,
still be a
if
vinyl.
if you're using multipliers, then that means the second year is 6 times better, 6 times less. And
Yeah,
the third year is not like it's multiplied. It's not like, oh, it was a few months better. It's like 3 times better. It means that 3 years after you buy your new car, if you have this stuff on it, it'll be almost 10x better looking than the other product
correct.
multiplies.
Correct.
That's a claim. Love bold claims.
It is a bold claim.
Love it.
Science backs it up,
Yeah, that's freaking cool. I need a
but
video of
it,
that shit.
well,
Like a
and what's
video
really
of the
weird is
whatever they're doing to test that thing.
what's really crazy is I decided to send him some test samples of RestorFX as well to put it through, just because, hey, I have access to this machine. Why won't
Yeah.
I? And RestorFX and RestorFX Advanced Repair
Mhm.
absolutely dwarfed the ceramic coating. Like the degradation was virtually nil.
So you have both. Like you put RestorFX and ceramic, and it's like you're just
It's
ultimately
like that's
protected.
bulletproof. That's bulletproof.
Yeah.
You do not have to worry about southern sun fade ever again.
So can you make a case to put Restore FX on a brand new car before you ceramic coat it? Like, would you make that
I wouldn't
argument?
put it on a brand new
Okay,
car, but what
okay.
I'd say is, you know what, come in a year's time.
I'll say this: a GM, I say every GM product out there, the clear
I
coat
mean,
is so crappy.
so
If
bad.
I bought
Yeah.
a brand new GM, I would be putting RestorFX on it.
And then
Yeah.
ceramic it a week later or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I just wait for the
Yeah.
initial off gassing to happen on the paint once it passes a chem test. You know, if it was straight black, maybe not. But if it was like, silver grays or anything, yeah, I'd be doing the same thing as well.
What's your opinion? What would you? How long should we wait to put ceramic over painted cars? This is a random ass question. Kind of out of left field. I don't even know if you know this.
Yeah, well, how long is a piece of string?
What's that?
How long is a piece of string?
Yeah.
It all depends on who the painter is.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
I have a
Depending on
body
what they
shop that's
what they put in the paint,
well,
basically.
depending on how effectively they cure, how well they mixed
Yeah.
it. There's
Mhm.
What
there's
if we
paint
cure
jobs
it?
that
Yeah.
there's paint jobs that are
What if we put a
there's
lamp on it? Still.
there's cheap enough guys out there that there's paint jobs that a year later still can't pass a Restore Effects application, right? Like
Yeah,
it all
that's
depends
true.
on
That's true.
how well they did. I have a body shop that I work with quite a lot, and they work on higher end. They do Land Rover, Mercedes, BMW,
Mm.
like they're really catering to higher end vehicles. And when they get into a vehicle in with an accident that had ceramic coat on it, they use us for the insurance, and they bake that to full cure so that when it goes out of that paint booth and they put it outside, if it's the middle of winter in Toronto, they
Doesn't
know they're not
matter.
going to have a problem, right? So they do that to every vehicle,
Yeah, there's so
not
many reasons not to
every
paint your
body
car.
shop. Yeah, not
So
every
Mhm.
many
body
reasons.
shop does that. It used to be fast, cheap, reliable, pick two. Ever since COVID, it's fast, cheap, reliable, pick one. So that's where we've
That's
gotten to the industry.
God. There's so many reasons not to paint your car though. Like you just said, like that's so like there's so like it's not even body shop dependent. It is painter dependent, and you don't
Yeah,
even know if he was out of the hardener or didn't have enough of it that day. He's like, that's still gonna work. Like
yeah.
paint. I mean, it's like every paint job's different. Every single one. Every
Every
single
single
paint job.
one. That's why I can't give you a solid answer on that.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's just a matter of has it off gassed, has it this, has it that, who painted it, were they in a good mood, what quality paints, did they have a
I mean,
proper
yeah,
did they
yeah, like literally all
did they
those.
not clean out their gun properly? Was there a bit of
Right.
lacquer thinner left in it to dilute it? You have no idea. It's out of control.
Did yeah, was there a little bit of water in the line of the compressor they were using, which I had a problem of
Yeah,
recently for a paint. Oh, there's a wall of water in the line. Why? Well, apparently that's a
yeah.
thing. So we had to like it's crazy, dude. Like every single time is different. I'm gonna go on more tangents. We're just do long episodes now, Ryan, apparently. So,
Mhm.
Yeah,
buckle up,
yeah.
guys.
Endurance.
Um
I love it.
I I've seen online, Ryan, we haven't talked about this, Ryan's um guys that are doing touch up either single stage of doing touch up mixed with clear or touch up and then clear, curing it under heat lamp, wet sanding, buffing, and polishing. And like in the videos, I cannot tell. I
Mm.
can't see where they did it.
Yeah,
Like,
I've done that.
I, why aren't we doing that more often then? Like, if there's a scratch that's 14 inches long and I'm gonna paint it, and the customer says, "Yeah, sure, I'll pay you $900 to paint it." Like, how do we get really, really good at that? Like, really good to where it's like,
It
damn.
it actually takes like most of a day to do that.
That's what I'm saying. But
Like
It
it's
is
not
a
a
$900.
very,
yeah, I mean,
I mean, if
but
you're
it
do I
takes
if
a
you're
do
long
I
time.
that video is you can still see it. I don't care, especially with different colors, black,
sure, I
maybe
mean, yeah,
solid
it's
colors,
yeah,
okay.
but like repainting a panel, you're gonna see some shit. Like, I mean, you're gonna see something
Yeah.
Mhm.
But here's the thing. Think about how much clear coat you've just removed through that process.
Yeah.
through what
And then
process.
through that wet sanding process, you've removed
Yeah,
so
that's
much
true.
of the
Yeah,
clear
all
coat. Like,
around it to blend it out and stuff. That's
yeah,
true. That's
if
true.
you really want the answers to that, go into the comments section where the old detailer guys, as much as
Yeah,
crotchety as they can be,
yeah,
but see what they're saying, and it makes sense. They're like, yeah, you can totally see where it's flat spotted because there's no more orange peel, so now it's inconsistent.
But
yeah.
these are also
That's
the
true.
guys that
Yeah,
are
it's like
bragging
clear coat's
about
left
cutting
the
a clear
chat,
coat off of people's cars.
That they're
Yeah.
what?
They're bragging about cutting clear coat off of people's cars because they just about to do a 4-stage paint correction.
True, true,
Yeah.
true.
They're
Well,
like, look how good this looks. It's gonna
So
bleach
you
out
just
in
yeah,
about an
you
hour and a
just
half, but
you just paint it anyways, right? That's it. That's what it comes down
yeah.
yeah,
to. Some
it
it's got its
bleaches.
place. It's got its
Hey,
place.
I just got to prove to you I'm so good with a polisher. Nobody else should be touching your car but me
Right. Yeah.
until I burn through the
Yeah.
paint, and you got to get it redone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that
Yeah.
detailer of that MTE the year before last, Ryan, that we showed him that blue 4Runner, and he's like, I could do that in a day. I was like, bullshit.
Yeah.
You saying that shit
Yeah.
with 50 or what?
Well,
Yeah.
You know?
how many Puerto Ricans you got on that thing? You got one on each panel?
I don't use orbital, man. I use a belt sander.
Right, belt
Yeah.
sander with 80 grit.
Yeah.
Just light though, just light,
Yeah.
you
You
know.
didn't
Let me
know in
ask you a
Puerto
question.
Rico
What do
they
you
could
think
paint
of?
a car in 3 hours.
Let me ask you a question. How do you feel about DeLoreans? Do you
Right,
like
yeah,
the
there
look
you
of the
go. Yeah,
Cybertruck?
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right. There you go, just get all the paint off.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude. That's funny. I
Yeah.
think we covered it. I think
There's
we
a lot of
covered it.
stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
I got
there's
one
a
more thing. I got one more
no.
thing.
Well, here's how I'm going to answer that last one for you quick.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, a similar answer I got from a guy that's been on this show a few times, and everybody can say he's not short of like saying what's on his mind. But Dave
Yeah.
Butte, love him to death.
Yeah.
I really,
Mhm.
really do. And I saw the Facebook ad where you just put this little thing and it goes zap, 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 and the dent pulls out.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, the hot box.
Yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, Dave, are these good? Do they work? And I'm going to ask you what your
Yeah.
answer was.
I mean, yeah, you still have to be very highly skilled to use them, and they have their
Very,
place
very
in the,
highly.
and they have their place.
I
Yeah.
use it every day,
Yeah,
but it's
they have its
still
place, but it's not a suction cup. It doesn't
no
Yeah.
pop
So
it
I
out.
can't just bring that into my shop, start
Yeah,
using it and
right.
going, hey, I do dents now.
Yeah, no.
negative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
negative.
You'll be repainting a lot
So
of stuff.
Yeah, you'll even fucking burn and shit. If you like turning white yellow,
Yeah.
then yeah.
but
Uh,
that's the same idea. Like there's all
right,
these
yeah,
things out there that make it,
for sure.
and these guys that love to show off their skill. But
Hmm.
like Ryan
Hmm.
said, at the
Mhm.
end of the day, RestorFX can do just as good of a job 9 times out of 10. And even if we do a little bit of backfill and bake in a rapid clear and sand that touch up smooth and then just RestorFX over it, it's going to look better than it did in that video. And you don't lose the orange peel, you don't lose the integrity of your paint. There's always a better way to do something that's going to last longer and give more integrity to the work
Hmm.
than just being able to say, look what I can do.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm looking at. Like I have a Sprinter van and dents up at the very top part because he hit a gutter, and I'm like, the scratch is like 14 inches long, and I'm like, I do not want to paint this whole panel. Like it
Yeah.
feels so wrong, and it's high up too. You have to get on a ladder to see it. Probably. I'm like, can I just do paint touch up with a clear coat over it, buff
We
it out
actually
so it's
started
flat, and then restore effects over the whole thing? It
my
would be cost effective. It would
Yep.
be better for the car. And I'm like, I
Yep.
just don't know how to do it. I just need someone to train me how to do that. Brian, I'm gonna call you
Yeah.
next week. I'm gonna call you next
You
week.
just need a hard enough clear that you can accelerate the cure to so that
Right.
it'll pass the
Yeah.
chem test,
With the
same as the body shop.
with the touch up system I got, we got a quick clear.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yep.
I might try it. No, I might try that. That would be fascinating to see. If I can start doing that, that would be really cool. Because then
Yep.
then you're not repainting a massive part of the vehicle. You are putting a RestorFX over the top of it, but if you can just keep that thin line of touch up, you know,
where that concept works is like you have a car that's super high end, or you have paint that's got custom paint on it, something crazy where it's got the smallest rock chip or like the scratch about the size of a freaking like
right. So it's
really
tiny,
small.
yeah, tiny,
And
tiny,
you can make that almost seamlessly to where you can't see it. But dude,
yeah.
stuff that's big,
That's
it's just
14 inches
never.
long. It's never gonna
Yeah,
work.
it's
Yeah,
never like
yeah. The painting
you'd
has its
really.
place. Painting has its place.
But
Yeah,
we've been doing a lot of we call them smart repairs to customers, and it's like we do a lot of blending where we take cutoff lines on body lines, and
yeah.
I have a really good painter that does that. And dude, he can paint stuff in a small area, and you will not. I don't care who you are, you can't really. You'd have to know
It's
like
almost
what
borderline
happened to it.
airbrush status, like technically
Yeah,
old school airbrush status.
yeah, it comes out phenomenal. But he charges like more money than it would cost to paint it, but you have less, you have more OEM clear coat.
So for the right, for the right car, it's worth it. But like this is a white Sprinter van, so it's just like
Yeah,
white. I'm like, we can just paint that one panel, call it a day, or they won't even paint the
yeah,
whole thing. But all right,
yeah.
we're getting on more changes, but this is
Is
good
that your
stuff.
work one?
No, it's just a customer, just a
No.
customer.
Just,
Yeah, he
just
uses it for like go karting.
So what I do is I'd restore effects at first so that you're sealing off the metal so it doesn't rust. You're sealing off the paint from peeling, and I do a touch up. And if it's on the roof where he's not going to see it,
No, it's on like the upper curve of it. But he's like super
uh,
picky though. Super
oh,
picky.
but he bought
Yeah.
a Sprinter.
It's yeah, but it, like okay, it's a Sprinter van that like they
Yeah,
put two shifter carts in on the side and they have all built out, all the mechanical stuff built out so they can
got
pit
it.
stops and everything. Like he's weird.
Yeah.
Not weird. He's specific about stuff. So I'm like,
Just in case he listens to this. Still love
yeah.
you.
Not weird. Yeah, we're all a little weird.
You could do that though. Yeah,
It
if you did the backfill, you put in the clear, you baked it full enough and sanded it smooth and then restore effects over top, you should get a clean.
it should be really good, especially if it's 9 feet
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
You know, if
Is
it's
it going
right
to be
eye
invisible?
level, no.
It's never going to be invisible.
Sitting
Like,
on
you
the
can look
ground,
at it.
standing on the ground, it might be though.
You
Yeah,
can look at a
standing on the
Boyd
ground.
Coddington chip Foose build and they're still not invisible. Right?
Yeah.
You can tell they're done, right? So
Yeah.
we're in the industry, man. We're going to find flaws. That's what we do.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why my friends never tell me when they buy a new car anymore. They're like, "Don't come over." And I'm just, "Oh, did you? Oh, look at just," and they're like, "Stop!" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
That's funny. You should do this.
yeah."
Oh man, this is fun. I learned a lot. This podcast was for
Mhm.
me. This is for me.
It's
You
enjoyable.
guys got to listen too. So that's good.
Yeah, it's kind of a what's going on, you know.
You like the smell? You like your smell, Ryan?
Yeah, I need to get
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah. Get you another hit.
Yeah,
I'm not in my shop right now, but I gotta go through all that stuff on Monday for sure. Gotta
he
try the
is
Tornado
liking
stuff.
that. He's been
Yeah.
like, that's like the 8th time he's picked that back up and puffed some more of it. And
It's burning my eyes, dude.
All right, Ryan, this was awesome.
Yeah, it
we
was
talked
great.
about marketing programs, CRM system, the new products, the market in general, integrating RestorFX with dealerships, the new ceramic coating, UV resistant, self-healing. We covered a lot.
potential applicators coming out.
Potential applicators.
Watch for updates on a paint kit,
Yeah, beautiful stuff.
et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
There's a lot of R&D happening right now, and a lot
Yeah.
of advancements, a lot of changes. We're really excited as a company right now. It's been fantastic. So just really,
Yeah, just
really,
I mean, just
really
yeah,
good
just
things.
know that if you're with RestorFX, like it's the best part about it is that they're continually doing that stuff for you. That's one of the hardest parts about owning a business. Like all you got to do is focus on the product, focus on selling it to your dealerships, and just know that the guys at RestorFX on the back end, guys and gals, are just trying to make it better, which is what we want. I mean, we need that. If you're not
And if
moving
you-
forward, you're moving backwards. So I'm glad
And
to
if
hear
you've
that.
looked at us and you're trying to decide, like, hey, should I add this to my business? Should I not?
Mhm.
Da, da, da.
Yep.
Don't get into an industry that's already oversaturated. Detailing, PPF, tint.
PPF.
You throw a rock, you can hit any of them. Stick to what you're good at. You're in PDR. Stick to
Yeah.
that. This is a perfect symbiotic product, and you're not going to have to worry about the guy down the street trying to go after your business because he can't.
Yeah,
So
100%.
just now's the time. Feel
Love
safe, feel comfortable, meet with us. Know that we're here to get your back. Talk to Corey, talk to Ryan. Maybe not Ryan, he'll try and buy you out, but still.
He'll be like, I'm sending you a link. See if you can smell this through the computer. That's what it's
Yeah.
saying.
You know what's funny? And he's not even denying it. He's just like,
No, it's true. I read it.
I'll totally
It sounds
take
like
that. I'll
sounds
take
legit.
you right out.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. That was super fun. Super fun.
Yeah.
Good time, guys.
All right, guys.
Yep.
See you on the next one.
Yep.
Yeah, it
Next
was.
one.
See you on the next one.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Masters of Recon podcast. If you're getting value from this podcast, then please subscribe to the show and give us a review so others can find our show as well. And if you haven't joined the discussion yet, then go find us over at Masters of Recon Facebook group to join the weekly discussion. See you all next time.